Todd said, y'all ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 9, episode 8. It's kind of crazy that we're already 8 weeks in. I really enjoyed this episode. It wasn't a whole lot going on until we really got up until the end. Before we get into this review, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, not only is it a free way to support my channel, but it also lets YouTube know that I'm here and that you all are rocking with my commentary. So YouTube starts to shoot my content out to other viewers just like you, an audience who ordinarily would not get an opportunity to connect with my channel. Now, before we get into the review, I just want to thank all of you who are newly subscribed to my channel. In the last week, I did the same numbers as the previous week, maybe around 80 new subscribers. So I am making steady progress on my channel. I am almost at 3,500. I would really love it if I could hit 4K before the new year. Actually, like before Christmas. That'll be like a cute little Christmas gift to me. But shout out to Bonnie Gang, Scotch Gang, all of the new Scotch bonnets. I love to see all of the new names and comments rolling through. I really deeply and sincerely appreciate you all for supporting my channel and showing me so much love by hitting the like button and just rocking with your girl every week. So that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So we start this episode with Meredith, Lisa, and Heather at the spa together. Heather is telling her version of the story that happened with her and Bronwyn. She's making it seem as though Bronwyn was talking in circles with her, and she was apologizing but also not exactly knowing what she was apologizing for, and that she tried to coerce an apology out of Heather. We as the viewers, we know that this is not how it went. We know Heather is going to spin things at this point because Heather is a liar. Heather lies. She's a liar. Meredith says that Sean went on a podcast and said that Meredith is using Brooks as a pawn to deflect from her own wrongdoing. I'm guessing the wrongdoing meaning her accusations of his sexuality, or her questioning his sexuality and accusing Angie of being in the Greek mafia. She pulled Sean to the side at the party and she told Sean, well, that was really hurtful. And Sean told her straight up to her face, that was how I felt. I said, I know that's right, Sean. Now, I'm on Sean's side. Usually, of course, I usually take the side of the women, but I like Sean. I don't care. I'm on his side. Meredith, you shouldn't have been talking shit. Meredith, you started this. You did. You did. And Brooks is not a minor. How old is Brooks? Like 20, 21 or something like that, 22? He can handle it. If he want to get up there and give Sean a piece, he can go on ahead and do that. Now, I'm not no fan of Brooks. I don't like the bitchy white gays with the vocal fry. They don't really do it for me. No shade. It's no shade. Y'all can have Brooks. And then we have a scene with Lisa and John. She's talking about her meetup with her sister, and she's talking about how basically, she and her kid threw this last minute birthday party and nobody really showed up because some other kid had a birthday party that was already planned, and she starts crying because she feels bad for Henry. Look, I feel bad for Henry too. Obviously, he's missing his older brother. Him and his brother were really close, and now he's kind of just like the younger kid in the house. And Lisa is saying that she hates being criticized as a mother and how bad she felt for Henry. You're conflating two separate things. Nobody came to Henry's party because it was a last minute party, not because you're a bad mother, not because nobody dislikes him or anything like that. Angie said what she said to get back at you when you made the comment about how, she's always going off to be with Electra. So Lisa, you're conflating these two things. You're making yourself a victim here, and it's just like she's so ridiculous to me. Then we have all of the ladies getting together on Bronwyn's private jet, okay? The ladies get off the jet. They're riding over to the house that Bronwyn and Todd have set up for them. Bronwyn was explaining the situation to Meredith and Lisa about what happened with Heather, and she feels as though they're kind of taking Heather's side because we have Lisa saying, well, when Heather is a friend, she's really a friend. Yeah, Lisa, she's really a friend to you. And she's really a friend to Jen Shaw and whoever is the most popular person at that time. Do you understand that? There is so much imbalance in the way Heather treats all of her different friends. She doesn't ride for everybody the same. So everybody gets to the house, and the house is absolutely fabulous, okay? Gorgeous, stunning, tens, money. Now, what kills me this episode is that Lisa feels like she is still owed an apology from Whitney's husband. No, you owe him an apology. Whatever you and Whitney have going on, I don't personally agree with the way Whitney is handling these accusations, right? It seems baseless. You're saying, oh, a friend told me. That's hearsay. That's hearsay. So while I don't agree with Whitney, I don't agree with you walking up hard and fast on Justin. Are you okay? You've clearly stepped out of your mind. That's a big man. And what you're doing is you are putting your husband in a situation where now he has to go and fight. And we don't even know for real if John could really handle that work. Because I said this before and I'll say it again. Justin gives me that he is from Oregon. He gives me an Oregon tease. He gives me that he grew up eating elk. Okay? Folks that grew up eating elk, they just built different. They just are. Period. So you don't want them problems. You really don't. You needed to leave Justin out of it. Y'all need to leave the husbands out the situation because like I said before, the men have a propensity for violence. Violence is a resource that they are too willing to tap into at any given time. So y'all really need to be careful with that. Lisa and Meredith are going on a trip. We learn Lisa doesn't want to stay in Italy too long because the food is too fresh. This right here should further solidify that Lisa is absolute trash. She's white trash for real. You eat Wendy's every day. Italian food is too fresh, baby. When I bite into something and I can tell that it's fresh, when I tell you I have a mouthgasm, it sends electricity through my body when I know I'm eating something fresh. Anyway, Lisa is insane. So we have a scene where a jeweler comes over to show Bronwyn some pieces that she's previously looked at. She's introducing Todd to the pieces. She's like, hey, babe, I like these pieces. I want you to like them for me. Bronwyn is showing y'all that she is where the money resides.
Where the money reside, where the money reside.
Lisa, Meredith, and John are sitting out by the pool now. Seth comes out and he says to Meredith, I have some bad news. I have to leave early to go back to Ohio. She's like, well, what do you mean? She feels as though this is a big part of the reason that they are not doing that great in their marriage. And, you know, it's a big spot of contention for them. And she's like, you just got here. Why would you be trying to leave? And she's like, listen, I'm all for my man working hard, but at the same time, something has to give. And I do agree with Meredith. If this is a point of contention for y'all and an issue, you can't tell me that there's no other job where you can't be available more. If you have to travel, it's like, okay, fine. But you need to be able to make yourself a little bit more available to your family. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just feel like you need to figure out what balance looks like in your marriage because clearly things are not balanced at this time. So Angie K is coming over to, you know, sit by the pool. She has on this really cute getup. It's like this little pool dress. It's a short dress, but it's got these cute little cutouts. Angie low-key be dressing really cute to me. She has cute style. So Angie is in the kitchen getting shots for everybody and she's pouring them and she's kind of hesitating and she says to the chef, she's like, what do you think? Like, should I just pour half or should I pour a whole shot? And the chef is like, it's vacation, you know, do what you got to do. And the chef, it said, you know, her caption said personal chef, pretty black lady. And I was like, Bronwyn got this personal chef, this, you know, pretty black lady making some money in her kitchen. And I loved it because I'm just like, yes, go ahead and get to a nice chat. I'm sure that Bronwyn and Todd is paying this lady. So shout out to Bronwyn for that. I really like to see that. Anyway, everyone is at the pool and Lisa says, you guys, has anyone talked to Heather? All of the ladies are sitting by the pool at this point, except for Bronwyn. Whitney says, well, Bronwyn tried to apologize and repair it and move forward. Lisa says, we heard a different story. And Meredith is like, yeah, I think it was a little bit more complicated than that. And then Whitney is like, well, guys, I don't think it was that complicated, actually. Whitney says, Bronwyn invited Heather over with the intention of working things out. Lisa says that when she talked to Heather, she got a completely different impression. Whitney says that they have been saying the exact same thing about one another. And Lisa says, well, I don't want to play this game of telephone. But Lisa, you are literally playing the game of telephone right now. And you continue to play it as the scene goes on. So anyway, Meredith is suggesting, she's like, well, let's call Heather and check in. And then we jump to a confessional where Angie is like, well, I miss Heather too, but I'm not dumb enough to call her on a trip that Bronwyn is hosting. See, Angie, what that is that you have class, tact, couth, decorum, and common courtesy. It's clear that Meredith and Lisa are lacking in that department. Angie says that this is a double standard, and if you called Lisa's mortal enemy on a trip that she was hosting, you would be in the pool. Angie is absolutely correct. So Lisa calls Heather. They're on the phone talking. Lisa's like, we miss you. And at this point, Bronwyn walks into the scene and she sees that Heather's on the phone and she's like, oh, okay. And she goes and she sits over by the ladies. And Lisa's like, she's showing the camera, the front-facing camera on Bronwyn. She's like, hey. And I'm like, Lisa, you're weird. You're a weirdo for that, because why would you do that? It just looks so childish. She's like, yeah, Heather, we miss you. Why do you think Bronwyn wants to see her? What is Bronwyn supposed to say at that point? Lisa is like weirdly antagonistic. Like, she is being antagonistic in this scene. And why didn't you just call Heather if you missed her so much, like in your room? Why did you have to do it at the pool where everybody was at? What were you trying to prove? I don't know. It just seemed like a big F you to me. Did anybody else take it like that? Because it's like you're automatically taking Heather's side and you're just taking Heather's word, and we know Heather to be a liar. You weren't even there for the conversation that happened with her and Bronwyn. Bronwyn says that she is furious when she comes back to see that Heather is on the phone with Lisa, because this whole time she's been tiptoeing around Lisa, feeling like maybe she did something wrong. And she's like, no, this bitch is dead ass wrong. So Bronwyn straight up says to Lisa, yo, it's weird that y'all called Heather. Lisa, if you missed her that much, why didn't you just stay back in Utah with her? And Bronwyn is now explaining, look, hey, I tried to fix things with her. And she also says, when people were making comments about you, I took your side and I told them, like, hey, that wasn't the experience that I've been having with you as a friend. She feels as though she's not getting the same loyalty in return from Lisa. And she's absolutely correct, because they have their own relationship and their own dynamic. Bronwyn in this moment is doing a really good job of pointing out the imbalance in which Lisa shows up for people that she calls friends. Heather and Lisa are very similar in that way. They show up and they ride for whoever they want to ride for when it's convenient for them, and they don't show up for everybody in the same kind of way. Bronwyn says, well, I got into it with Brittany and Heather and you never checked for me. Lisa's like, well, when I got into it with Whitney, you never checked for me either. And Bronwyn is like, let me stop you right there, because I did check for you. And then the producers roll back a clip where Lisa is crying about the situation with her and Whitney. And we see Bronwyn indeed going over to console Lisa. Y'all, Bronwyn is chewing Lisa up in this scene. The issue is that Lisa is so self-centered that she doesn't see the ways in which people show up and truly support her. Also, Meredith is full of shit in the scene because she keeps on defending Heather. And it's like, girl, shut up. You weren't there. And at this point, the men are noticing that things are getting a little loud. There's a confessional with all of the men, and they're all pretty much saying, look, I'm staying out of this except for Todd. Todd is like, I don't like this. Todd don't play by his wife, honey. Anyway, Bronwyn says, I'm saying I want to work it out with Heather and apologize with Heather, and Heather is saying that I'm two-faced. Lisa, do you not see the difference? in which we are talking about each other? Do you not see that here? Why is it that she is shit talking me and I'm trying to work things out with her and you're still taking her side? Lisa says, oh, y'all need to work it out. I don't want to be involved. Bronwyn says, look, this is a double standard because now all of a sudden you don't want to be involved. She says, when it's me and somebody else, it's my responsibility to work it out. But when it's you and somebody else, I'm supposed to come and check on you. Bronwyn got up and she walked away. And when I tell y'all, Lisa's face was so cracked. And the thing is, too, Lisa is so used to, being the popular one, being the one that everybody is trying to defend. Everyone is clamoring for her approval. And Bronwyn does not care. I feel like this is kind of humbling for Lisa. She doesn't care for Lisa's approval like that. The thing is, too, about Bronwyn is that just by nature of who she is and how she shows up, who she's married to, the status, the money that they have, she has come into the group and she has changed the dynamic. And it's not that she is trying to be treated like, oh, I'm that girl, I'm this, I'm that. She is just like, you can tell she's wanting to be cool with everybody, but she's also not going for Lisa's bullshit. And I'm really appreciating that. Bronwyn is truly bringing some balance to the situation. You don't get to do and say what you want and never get called out. It's crazy. Bronwyn says, when it's me and somebody else, it's my responsibility to work it out. But when I see you and somebody else having an issue, I have to ride your dick like it's my job. I said, ooh. Bronwyn rolled Lisa's ass like some dice in this scene. Okay, she really did. Bronwyn stormed off and Whitney got up to go and check on her. Lisa says, I don't feel bad, not even for a little bit. Her and Heather will work it out and then everybody will apologize to me. Lisa is a level of delusional that is almost scary. Like, she is truly so self-absorbed, and would it be fair to call her narcissistic? Because she never takes any ownership and she never takes any accountability in a situation ever. It's almost scary, y'all. Lisa, I don't know how anybody could really be friends with her. Whitney is making a really great point, saying, how did Lisa all of a sudden become the spokesperson for Heather Gay? Hello? That's what I'm saying. Bronwyn is explaining to Whitney, listen, I have done everything that Lisa expects me to do as a friend, and the minute that I call her out, all of a sudden, I didn't do something. So at this point, Todd comes into the kitchen and he's like, listen, I don't like to see you like this, and I don't like that energy. I'm about to go tell them that they need to leave. I'm about to give them some money and ask them if they can just go on about their business. Y'all, Todd was eating this up too. He was like, I'll pay for their cab. I'll pay for the accommodations, but they need to go. I like Todd, y'all. Todd, I saw people complaining in the hashtag like, oh, he doesn't understand how the game is played and this is conflict. This is how it's supposed to be. No, this is conflict. He's adding more to the conflict. Don't y'all see that? He's putting their asses out. Because y'all messing with his wife. He don't gotta sit or stand for that. So Todd walks up to John at this point and he's like, look, this is some bullshit and you all are stressing my wife out. I didn't come up here for a bunch of arguments. I came up here to relax. Lisa's gotta stop or you guys have gotta go. John gets up immediately. He's like, all right, I'll go talk to Lisa. He goes and he tells Lisa what Todd said. Y'all, I don't think I have ever seen Lisa's face look this cracked. I don't think I've ever seen it. Between Bronwyn packing her up at the pool and Todd, and then John coming and telling her, listen, Todd said we gotta go. Y'all, that put a glimmer in my eye. It fortified my spirit. It strengthened me. But anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Hit the like button for me on your way out. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Get down in the comments. You already know I want to hear from y'all. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's something about this girl.